Can you kind of talk us through the basics of design thinking, kind of 101?
Sure, and I'm going to start with, before you start sort of going through the process, you have to define a question. You have to define a challenge that you are dealing with, and that's one of the first things that's really important, getting a really good question. And once you have that, you kind of start a process that we call looking out. Once we have a question in mind, we start sort of looking out into the world and seeing how people in analogous industries or analogous sectors have started to address that question, and we start doing design research. We start talking to people who might be impacted by that particular issue to figure out exactly where their pain points are, what the challenges are.
We talk about problems within problems, right? So what's presented as a problem is often a solution, actually. And a lot of the design thinking process is about tearing apart or breaking apart the different steps of solving a problem into their discrete components. One of the frameworks we use is observe, engage, do, which observe is let's just watch. Let's just see what they do. Let's look at the actions that they're taking. Engage is really this, let's have conversations with people. If I want to design something for you, I should probably talk to you first. And it's remarkable how often we don't do that.
We all operate within constraints, right? It would be great if I could, have a client who said to me, unlimited budget, do whatever it is that you want, but that's never the reality, right? We operate within sort of the three constraints of desirability. What does the user want, or what does the user need in this particular instance? Feasibility, right? That's sort of what are my technological constraints, or what are my adoption constraints in a particular field, and viability, right? Sort of financially, what makes sense.
Can you give us some practical mini design thinking tips for that person who's, in the salt mines doing real work,
sure,
not running everything, but wants to be a design thinker?
Yeah. And this would go for both the manager delivering the process as well as for the person receiving it. But it is to ask that question is, why? Sort of why. Right? There are a lot of ways to ask why than just saying why. But what is the ultimate goal? Right? What is the end goal? What are we really trying to achieve? What outcomes do you really want us to to create here? And then the other ideally is thinking, are these based in the real responses, quotes, real words of real people that we're really trying to serve?
One of the greatest analogies I've heard for this was from someone I consider a mentor, and it's this idea of how do you pass a pitcher of water to somebody at the table next to you, right? And sort of the best way to do that is to hold the bottom and have the handle facing in their direction so they can just take it and pour themselves a cup, right? And I think everybody, regardless of their role in the organization, has something that they want to pass somebody to. And even if you have the smallest chunk of whatever the development project is, there's a way that you can think about its role in sort of the bigger product, the bigger strategy, and also pass it along to the person who's going to take it, one step further and implementing it into that strategy in a way that makes the most sense for them.
Yes. My statement about Silicon Valley would be that a large number of the innovations we see that are put out there, the ones that fail, well, first of all, a large number of them fail. And the reason a lot of them fail is because people don't do this work early on. They don't understand who they're designing for, and then they build something that costs millions of dollars. Maybe they convince investors that it's worth investing in. But when they deploy it and no one uses it, there's a shock there. If you're really using this process, there shouldn't be that much of a surprise. You should know people who are interested in using what you've been creating the whole time because they've been involved in the process.